Hello everybody and welcome to this screencast session. This topic we're going to review today is payroll. So please everyone get their check registers out, because whenever we write a payroll check, it is an accounts payable expense item. In fact, it's the largest accounts payable expense item. So everybody get their check registers out, and we will begin documenting it. The check number that you should be using is 483, and let us read the job number. It's page 92 in your book, job number 312. One of your responsibilities this week in Dr. Heath's office to prepare the payroll for 2 employees. The first payroll check will be Joseph Pinelli for maintenance work at Douglas Medicine Associates. Mr. Pinelli worked 40 hours this week. His W-4 shows he is married, has 2 allowances, and that's the form. The W-4 is the form you fill out that sent into the government to tell them how many people you're going to claim in order for X amount of taxes to be taken out. Joseph's rate of pay is $15 an hour. We're going to complete now the payroll for Joseph Pinelli, and I'm going to demonstrate how to do federal withholding, state withholding, Social Security, Medicare, and ultimately we'll come up with net payroll. Okay, so Joseph Pinelli worked 40 hours and he was paid $15 an hour. So his gross pay is going to be $600. Okay, the next thing we need to do for Mr. Pinelli is, remember, the W-4 said Mr. Pinelli will have 2 withholding. He's married and he has 2 allowances. So probably Mr. Pinelli is claiming himself and his wife on the W-4. So if you turn to page 50 in your book, you'll see it's a very simple computation. We're going to go to the table and you'll see 600 towards the bottom of the table. You're going to see 2 different ranges, $590 to $600 and $600 to $610. And the range that you always are going to choose, because this is what the government will choose, is the highest range, because they want the most taxes that they can take out of your check. So we're going to choose the 600 to 610 range. Since Mr. Pinelli has 2 allowances, we're going to go over 3 columns. If you look up it says 2, and you'll notice that we're going to be taking $20 out of Mr. Pinelli's check. By the way, the totals and everything you can find that I'm doing, that we're computing and looking at, can be found on page 53. So $20 is going to be his federal withholding. You should write that down then on a separate piece of paper. Then the second thing we're going to do is state withholding. And again, Mr. Pinelli was paid $600, so you'll see the range $590 to $600, again $600 to $610, and you can find that on page 53. We're going to go over 3 columns. First column 0, the second one is 1, third column is 2, and you can see that it's $21.30. Now, Social Security, if you turn to page 48, for Social Security, it tells you how to compute that. It's page 48, item number 4. FICA, or the Federal Insurance Contribution Act, is the law. It requires a certain amount of money be withheld from an employee's wages for Social Security. The employee pays half of the required contribution, and the employer pays the other half. The Social Security benefit is figured by multiplying the gross wage by 6.2%. So, I don't know how long it's been since you've converted a percentage to a decimal, but I will show you on the calculator. We have 6.2%. All you have to do is to put a 0. So you would put 0.62. It's not going to show that. So we'll put 0.062, and that's what 6.2% is converted into as a decimal. We then are going to multiply 0.062 times our gross wage, which is $600, and you're going to get $37.20 for Social Security. So write that down. Right now we have $20 federal withholding, $21.30 for state withholding, $37.20 for Social Security. Now for Medicare, there's a different percentage computation, and again you can find that on page 48, number 5. The Medicare deduction is figured by multiplying the gross wage by 1.45%. So what we're going to do here, if it's 1.45%, we're going to put add a 0, and we're going to put 0.145. And we're going to multiply that by the gross wage, which is $600, and we're going to get $8.70. If we add, now we've done all of our calculations for the taxes. Federal withholding was 20. State withholding was $21.30. Social Security is $37.20. And then Medicare was $8.70. So we get a grand total of $87.20. We want to subtract $87.20 from $600. So let's do that. 600 minus 87.20, and we get $500 and $512.80. That's considered Mr. Pinelli's net pay. So that's all the computations for the payroll check. And let me show you on the screen how you're going to be documenting it. Again, check number 483, you're going to take out, you'd put it on to your check register. You're going to put on the pay line, you're going to write out $512.80. And you'd put the 80 over 3 zeros or 100. The next item on the check then you're going to put the date, which is 3/6/12. Under the gross amount, you're going to put $600, and the DISC column means discount, and that's where you're going to put the $87.20. That's the amount of taxes we're taking out of Mr. Pinelli's check. Under the check amount, you would write the net pay, which is, by the way, net pay is gross pay minus taxes, payroll taxes equal net pay. The amount would be 512.80. Underneath pay to the order of, that's where you're going to put Joseph Pinelli's name. Underneath Joseph Pinelli's name, you're going to put, on the two lines below his name, you're going to put federal withholding 20, state withholding 2130, Social Security 3720, and Medicare 870. So Mr. Pinelli will know what exactly was taken out of his check. So as you can see on the check register, we have Joe Pinelli 36. As I said, the gross amount $600, $87.20. This is Mr. Pinelli's net. There's the check number. And the number you should be at on your check register is $2,337.14. You might be saying, oh my goodness, that's not the number I have. And if it is not the number you have, it is because you did not put in the deposit from day 2, 3/5, of $1,314.63, added to the $2,849.94. You come out you have $2,849 with that deposit. Once you deduct the $512.80 from the $2,849.94, you're going to get $2,337.14. So remember to add in day 2's deposit to the day 2 total, then deduct the net pay. You don't deduct the gross pay, you deduct the net pay of $512.80 from the $2,849.94, and you get $2,337.14. Now, you also have to expense the taxes that we withdrew from Mr. Pinelli's pay. Oops, that's not what I want. Okay, so we're going to put federal withholding $20, which you have, Medicare $8.70, federal withholding or state withholding $21.30, FICA $37.20, and then your net payroll $512.80. We will be writing to the accounting firm. We'll be sending them the payroll taxes that we withdrew from Mr. Pinelli and Miss Jackson's checks. So make sure, again, you expense all of the taxes that we took out. Then, again, make sure you put in day 2's deposit, deduct the $512.80 from the bank balance from day 2, and you should come up with $2,337.14. Okay, that will conclude the screencast for today on payroll.